being as this is going to be the first time any of you have been taught in UOTC by a real teacher, I'm going to spring a surprise on you. There is a pop quiz. What? No groans? Oh.
Probably because I don't know what a pop quiz is.
Okay, I'm going to
Yes,
be
we
putting
do.
a test in the channel. Once you have the test, you'll have 10 minutes to complete it. It is a 10-question multiple choice test. It's very easy. It's just on prerequisite knowledge. If you get anything lower than a 70%, you will be excluded from the class. I apologize, but I need to make sure that you are all proficient with rotary wing and navigation. So give me a minute. I'll get that link for you guys.
Oh god.
Oh god.
This is gonna be fun.
Nice. This is gonna be
I
be
just
intense.
failed.
Yep,
This is
gonna be
getting
interesting.
serious, guys. Come on.
Oh, these are cool. Thought these didn't work yet.
I was only
Okay.
here for the communications aspect, not the flying.
Alright, guys, if you look in channel, there is a course. I'm sorry, there is a test. I need you to fill out where it says, what is your name? Put your in-game or TeamSpeak name there so I know who you are. I'll grade these as soon as I get the results. Okay, you have 10 minutes, no cheating, no talking. Begin. Actually, I'll make sure everybody's up before they begin.
Okay, I'm up.
Does everybody have it up?
Yep.
I think the silence is a yes. Go ahead. You have 10 minutes from now.
One question.
Sure.
A-sling loading with pilot or without pilot?
Standard ace sling loading. How many people does it take? With the helicopter in the air, how many people does it take?
So the pilot is one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm back.
See, that's oh my god.
So, how many people have failed the quiz already?
I don't know. Nobody has submitted yet.
I got a feeling I'm gonna fucking fail
Sorry,
this.
question.
Guys,
Yeah.
if you fail,
Yeah,
guys, if you hold on.
Question.
If you guys fail, there are 2 more sections of this course that will be taught. So you will have further opportunities to take this course.
Yeah, question for the what is a cardinal direction? Can I just put the example because I think
Yes. You don't
Thank
need
you.
to describe to me in detail what it is.
I have a question. Can you hear me?
Go ahead.
What do you mean by easting? Is that, the X thing or the Y
That
thing?
I will not answer.
Okay.
That's what's being tested.
That's the question that's being asked. Eight minutes remain.
Done.
I did it for the multis.
Did I pause?
Still got a grade, hold on. Yes.
Oh.
Actually, I'd say it's the first time anybody has answered a question with potato.
How is that wrong? It's
I'm just gonna apologize in advance for all spelling mistakes I've made.
It's okay. You guys have 6 minutes.
Dude, this test is so fucking hardcore, man.
I'm finished.
I've actually done it in school multiple times. If I don't know a question, just write down potato.
Yeah, fuck it.
There you go. Why do I have a soft lamp?
I'll explain later.
Wait, this was supposed to be all multiple choice.
Yes, there's essay questions.
Well, I do not need 5 paragraphs. Answer them as clearly and concisely as possible, please.
And I've sent mine, and I'm not even going to double check it.
Yeah, Doc's already sent his.
Okay, I'm grading these as I get them, okay? So just be patient.
Yeah,
All of a sudden, half of us just disappear from the game. Yeah, they didn't pass.
I spotted a mistake in my thing just after I sent it.
Okay.
Got it.
Nobody has failed yet.
Oh god, I don't need.
Yeah,
There's
think
still
I'm done.
time for me.
I was about to say.
Yeah,
There
I
are
it'll
4
be me.
minutes. Hey, please don't talk. There are 4 minutes remaining. Give everybody
Yeah, I'm
as
pretty
much
much
time as they
done.
need.
Whatever.
Please don't talk.
God, I don't know.
Dat is oké. Kan je niks fout doen.
Okay, is there anybody still taking the test at this time?
Yeah, Wesley.
Yeah.
Okay. You have exact 3 minutes.
Gonna fail.
You're gonna fail.
Google.
Just
Google.
Believe in it, Wesley. You're gonna
Just
fail.
believe.
Google.
Yeah, Google.
I'm stuck with 2 questions that I don't know or forgot.
Just fucking Google it, man.
Do not cheat.
Stop cheating, Orange. Why are you cheating, Orange?
No, I'm not cheating. I'm done.
Yeah, you're done. Maybe I have cheated.
Orangey troll.
Alright,
Stop
fuck it. I'm
trolling.
just gonna send it in without those 2 questions. Fuck it.
Just fucking guess, man.
Yeah, guess. A guess is better than nothing.
Exactly.
Especially on a multi-choice question, since
Yeah, well, it wasn't a multi-choice question.
I'm guessing it was what is masking and what is Roma.
Okay, is everybody, is
guessing.
anybody still working on the test? Okay, not a single person failed.
Jesus Christ.
God damn it.
The lowest score was a 70. That person shall remain nameless.
Come
Well,
on,
then-
give me a
then-
name.
Let's just go over some things. What is masking? Masking is hiding your aircraft from possible threats. That could be behind a tree, behind a building, behind terrain. What is a roamer? Who would like to answer that?
I didn't answer this.
Roamer is a fucking compass on a fucking plane,
Yes.
I guess.
Roamer is the compass in map tools that allows you to basically find precise directions, etc.
Hey Evan, I'm pretty sure you said that incorrectly.
That's why I'm not crazy enough to do that
I
while
answered
flying.
that first question, masking, like, discuss yourself or something.
So the lowest score was a 70. A 70 is all you needed to pass. Congratulations, you all passed.
Yeah, for the Roamer question, I just answered by putting in the lyrics from
Yes,
Metallica
I gave
whenever I
you
may
extra credit for that, by the way.
Nice.
Even you scared the shit out of me. I thought it was me.
Okay, so very good, guys. Everybody go ahead, stand up. We're going to go over some information that's on your packet at this time. I'm going to go over some definitions for you. LHD, it's a landing helicopter deck. It is what we are currently stationed on. It is part of an expeditionary strike group, otherwise known as an ESG, which is used to deploy troops, Marines specifically, to land. Now, in real life, this thing would never be closer than 22 miles to shore. That's the absolute closest it would ever be. In Arma, we don't have a map with 22 miles of water. Well, a map with which I could place something and you could still see marks 22 miles from water. No. Okay, LPD, landing platform dock. It's another similar ship. It looks like a bigger destroyer with a big landing pad on it. Okay, it can land up to 4 aircraft at a time. The LPD can land up to 9 aircraft at a time. Any questions so
You
far?
mean the LHD?
I'm sorry,
not
LHD.
9.
Any questions so far? Okay, cardinal directions, stuff like that. If you look forward, that is 4. Everybody look forward, that is 4. Everybody look to your right, look to the right side of the ship.
Starboard.
That is starboard. Everybody look to the back end of the ship, where I am at. That is aft, or after. Hey, everybody look to the left side of the ship. That is port. This is your port side. Okay, these are your 4 directions. Never do we say, hey, go to the forward part of the ship, go to the right side of the ship. No. 4, starboard, port, aft. Pretty simple. Amidships means center. So let's say that I'm scheduled to land at landing pad 9, which is just happens to be right here. Landing pad 9, you would get clearance such as you are clear to land. Landing port side aft, landing pad 9. Or say it was landing pad 6. If you guys reference your sheet, that would be amidships, landing pad 6, port side. Okay, any questions with that? Very
So
good.
pads are marked with those. So the border of the pads are those white lines.
I will get to that. Okay, just bear with me.
Okay.
Okay, there are 2 flies on the aircraft carrier, not like the bzzz thing. There are 2 zones for aircraft. There's fly 1, which is forward, and fly 2, which is aft. Right now we are in fly 2. Some other things I want to go over is this red and white line. Everybody see this red and white line? Everybody touch the red and white line. Oh my god, it's so amazing. Okay, this is called the foul line. If you cross from starboard to port while active flight operations are going on, the Master of Arms will probably have a nice conversation with you. Okay, so when flight ops are going, you're always going to want to stay to the right side of this line. This line runs the entire length of the runway. So if you follow me 4, you will see here that the foul line is intersected by this central piece, which is called the island. Okay, this is called the island. It is where command and control and everything are located. Please stay to the starboard side of the foul line at this time. Okay, so say I need to get my aircraft. It's port 1 or landing pad 1. Am I gonna run this way?
Nope.
Nope.
No.
No.
We have something
Always.
super secret called the alleyway.
Holy shit.
This is typically when this is the place where the weapons elevators are and weapon preparation. We're going to use this to run forward. Can everybody hear me okay?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, very good.
Somebody already managed to get himself injured.
Why can't I run?
Okay, this area of the ship is called the garage. Why? Because there are 2 garages. This is generally where fire suppression vehicles and towing vehicles are stored. In Arma, we do not have this, so we're robbed, unfortunately, of that. Now, there is one spot where it is safe to cross the deck when active flight ops are going on. Okay, this is basically the passageway, right here, across from the garage, that goes to port. If you go down these stairs, you guys can all cross. I know you guys have all been on the LHD before. You know if you go down these stairs, you get to basically a big room. If ever there are people on the deck and they need to get from port to starboard or starboard to port, this is where you do it. This is the staircase that you use. Do not run down the stairs or else you will fly off the ship. Would an instructor like to demonstrate that? There is respawn, don't worry.
Go, 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 go.
There you go.
There you go.
That's what happens.
And I give that dive a 10.
Okay, so that's pretty simple. Any questions so far? Very good. This yellow and white checkered line. Does anyone know what this is called?
Center line.
No, it is not called the center line.
Trolley line.
Big ass
Trolley.
yellow
Oh, yeah,
line.
It
Trolley
is
line.
called the trolley line. When Harriers are taking off, when Harriers are taking off, they follow this line as a point of reference, and that is the line they take off from. Okay, the Harriers do not take off from the foul line, or else they'll be without a wing by the time they get to the end of the deck. Makes sense. Any questions so far? Okay, next concepts are VTOL and STOVL. Every aircraft on this deck right now is a VTOL aircraft, that is vertical takeoff and landing. A Harrier would be classed as a STOVL, short takeoff and landing aircraft. Okay, where it can take off on a runway, but it can only take off on a runway, but it can land vertically. That is depending on its stores configurations. Harriers, as was noted in the Falklands, Harriers would have to dump their gear. Say they had extra bombs coming in from cast runs. They would have to dump their bombs over the sea before landing. Otherwise, the aircraft would be too heavy and too unstable. Now, with the F-35 and Arma, it does not have that limiting functionality on it. It can land when it's fully loaded with GVUs, etc. Okay, if you guys want to turn the page on the packet, I'm going to go over the pad. Just find the nearest pad. I'll wait for everybody to get over here. I'm just breezing right through this stuff because you guys all have this in your reference material. Yes, that is exactly true, Deathstrike. A Harrier cannot take off vertically. Alright.
No, sorry. Landing.
It can do it if you play around with throttle.
Yes,
that's
in
not
Arma it
easy.
is kind of screwy.
Thousands.
No, it isn't. If it goes to 0 airspeed, it drops like a fly. The American
it's-
engines can't take it.
It's
Oh,
pretty
yeah,
horrible,
it
yeah. And hey, in real life, man, the Harrier can do anything the British Harrier can do. Even
Yes,
better.
they can, but Arma's unfortunately modelled the American engines correctly, so now they can't hover.
Nice. Okay, somebody reference your second page. You'll notice you have a sign that looks basically like this white set of lines right here. This is called the pad markings. So what we have here is this forward line. This is essentially called the center line. If you guys come here where I'm standing, you can see that the center line matches up the center of the aircraft. Okay, it's pretty simple. For Arma purposes, you can line this up with the pilot to make life easier, so the aircraft would be a couple degrees out of whack. That's fine. It's hard without track IR to line the camera up just right. So, let's see. This middle line right here, this is a 45-degree line that will give you, what's the word I'm looking for? Will give you good peripheral vision. Say if you're just landing with a static mouse keyboard or static joystick, no track IR, you can use that as a means without looking at this line, which is the athwartship line. The athwartship line runs port to starboard, right here, and this is going to be your right to left frame of reference. So when you're landing, you're going to make sure that, firstly, you're down the center line, okay? Secondly, you line up right to left with the athwartship line. Any questions?
For me.
Sure.
So during a session, is this crucial to land really accurately, or can we make, about 2 meters of of mistake.
You want to be as close to these coordinates as possible. You want to be as close, absolutely as close as possible, whenever possible. Now, I don't want to have to give you guys 1,000 aborts. I want you guys to be practicing landing. So I'm not going to abort you if you are, let's say, here instead of here. Okay? Any other questions? Obviously, with that last question, you want to be as precise as possible, because there could be personnel standing right where Wesley is. And the helicopter is, you know, it can keel over like this, and boom, Wesley's dead. So you need to be as careful as possible. Let's see, checking chat. Okay, V-22, lovely. Any other questions with the pad marks? I'm going to give you one more thing. You'll notice there's a break in this line right here. If you only see the forward part of this line, your aircraft is too far forward. You should be able to see the break in this line when you land, when your helicopter is about 2 or 3 meters off the deck. Otherwise, you're too far forward and you need to pitch aft. Likewise, with the tram line, you should be able to see the tram line out your window. If not, then you're too far right. And it's a lot of information I'm throwing at you guys, so any questions?
What do you do when you're landing a Osprey on this? Because you're all the way on the left side, so you probably won't be able to see the yellow line.
Basically, with the V-22, the pilot position is the same. So this aircraft would be the same as the V-22, except the rotor boom would be over here where I'm standing. So this is all just pilot reference. This is not airframe reference.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Sorry.
No, no worries. Don't apologize. Any question is a good question, because it might be a question somebody else has, but might be afraid to ask. Okay, so we understand.
Question, just
sure.
What happens if, for example, just one aircraft departures for a mission and then an emergency situation happens during takeoff and departure? How's the deck is unloaded in Arma?
Okay, so basically what I'm assuming you're asking is what happens if you take off, you're 5 meters off the deck and your engine fails? Would that be your question?
No, if, for example, I have enough, you know, altitude to get back to the ship, and
okay, I understand what you're saying. If it's a clear deck, you do have that option, but 99.9% of the time you're going to want to ditch. Will that result in you dying? Most of the time, yes. Will some of the time it give you enough time to get out of the aircraft after you touch water? Yes. Okay, ditching is always preferable to landing on the deck, especially in situations like this. This is a full deck. If you have an engine failure 5 meters off the deck, you're going to pitch it over into the water. No doubt, no mistake. If the deck is this loaded. You're not going to want to risk damaging another airframe.
Okay. Okay, it was just, you know,
in real life, they'd bring it straight down. These things have a crash structure where they could just kill the collective and just have it come flat down as if it just fell out of the sky. They have that ability. So far as the Arma flight model, we do not have that ability. If you kill the collective, Arma does this. Okay, you've killed the collective, and now this is the way Arma flight model reacts. He killed the collective. Should I dump the collective? Yeah, I should do it about now. Okay, the response time is ridiculously slow in Arma. So always, 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 always ditch it.
Okay, that was... Thanks.
Any other questions? Okay, one thing I didn't cover in the packet is if you reference the pad markings, you'll see 3 wheel spots. Those spots are not on this deck. That, unfortunately, is where BIS got a little bit lazy. Okay, I wish I could demonstrate night lighting. Only 4 of the pads on this deck are fully night lit. All of them do have a centerline light, right where this 45-degree angle and 90-degree angle intersect. That makes sense. So They all have at least one light. They are visible with night vision, so you do have those aids. It's never like you're not going to be able to see them. Okay, any questions about anything up to this point?
Where do wheeled vehicles go?
Wheeled vehicles